Back in it, back in it. Cody Hooper's in the building, the bet master himself. And I'll tell you what, buddy, I need you because last week I put my heart and soul on the line, two bets on Sean Strickland and Tatiana Suarez. And I felt every bit of that pressure as it was coming down on me. Got roasted in the TikTok chat. And there was one man in my life that was saying, Zhang Wei Li, 100 times, don't doubt it. And that was you. You did kind of screw me. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. You did kind of screw me on Sean Strickland because when I first put it out, you're like, yeah, I'm a Sean Strickland rider. As we're coming into showtime, you switch tunes, you go to DDP. What led you to that? And why'd you bail on the boy?
First and foremost, I'm sorry. I did 100% bail. Second off, dude, just like Twitter, if I get way too in deep into it, and so everyone's like, Sean Strickland's hurt, shoulder, 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 and I was like, Sean Strickland is going to need to be at his A plus 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 game to be able to keep up with DDP now that he can breathe out of his freaking nose. And an injury coming into the fight, I just didn't see it faring very well, and he kind of looked not very good. So
muscle.
No, he pretty much just stood there like this. And I was like, brother, what are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, as much as I'm like, fuck, I should have just gone with DDP. That's kind of everything in my mind was telling me DDP, but my heart was telling me Sean Strickland. It was also just like the performance, I think, was just a bad performance overall. I don't know if it was injury or if he just couldn't find a way to pull the trigger, but
yeah,
fuck, that made me mad. And I was getting roasted out there.
Dude, I don't know. He looked terrible. On the complete opposite fight, Zhang Wei Li looks like she could fight for freaking forever. She looked absolutely incredible. Obviously, John Jones is the pound for pound number one fighter in the UFC, but not mentioning Zhang Wei Li in that is absolutely insane. Everybody was like, she can't wrestle, she can't wrestle. And I was like, she's Zhang Wei Li. She could do anything. She could walk on water. And I would be like, yeah, that's Zhang Wei Li. Of course she could walk on water.
Be honest, though, first round, my main call in my video was that she's not great off her back. That was my main call. First round, she gets taken down. She gets held for like 2.5, 3 minutes. I'm over the moon. I'm like, fuck, I got it right. Holy cow, this is incredible. And then just shut her down for the next 4 rounds. And then Tatiana really had nothing for her. She looked horrible after that.
No, I mean, she was eating those elbows on the ground too. That can't feel very good.
We're going to bring up some of this stuff on the back because I have some Zhang Wei Li for you in the back end quick hits. We want to talk about some Valentina Shevchenko, possibly DDP Hamzat. That'll come a little bit later. But this week, UFC Seattle, when I first invited you on this card, it looked a lot different. I'll be honest, this card has fallen apart. I think 8 fights have fallen off. Rob Font lost, Dominic Cruz. Of course, we saw Dominic Cruz retire. Curtis Blades is off this card, a ton of other fights. So it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit messy. And just looking at it, I don't know how you felt looking at the betting lines, but it's kind of a hard one to bet, in my opinion, especially for Henry Cejudo's Song Yadong. Did you find this one easy to bet, or do you have a clear catch going into it?
It's that fight specifically. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. Vegas is definitely, dude. I mean, 5-ish years ago, it was easy as hell to make money betting the UFC. I paid my rent multiple times with it. Now it's like they're stepping up their game and it's getting harder and harder to make money. Unless you want to pick a specific way this fight ends, or if you want to go out on a limb and say Henry Cejudo's not washed. It's kind of a little bit difficult to make some money on this fight specifically. I got a couple things, but we can definitely get into it.
Yeah. Round totals was the one that got me. It's 4.5 rounds. Both these guys have monster chins. They're kind of known for their chins. Song Yadong is just a zombie walking forward. And Henry Cejudo's, in his illustrious career, has only been finished once, and that was knee to the liver by Demetrius Johnson. So it feels like, and tell me if I'm wrong, it feels like we're probably going long in this bad boy. Do you feel the same thing? Or do you
I definitely feel the same way. And just the way this fight's going to have to go with Henry Cejudo, he can't stand and bang with him. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, it's just going to have to be Henry Cejudo leaning on his incredible wrestling, one of the best wrestlers the UFC's ever seen. So it's just going to have to be him leaning on that. So I definitely, and Cejudo's not an illustrious finisher.
Yeah.
So I don't really see this fight not going the distance.
Song's such a ball of muscle, though. Do you think Henry can hold him down?
Dude, that is something I thought about. Song Yadong is like anybody that hates Song Yadong doesn't like awesome fights because that's all Song Yadong does. You're just like, oh, I hate good fights.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's a you thing, choose that. I don't know. Song Yadong, that's his weakness he has two main weaknesses. One, he just like says fuck it and bites down on the mouthpiece too many times. It takes a lot of insane shots. And you can't do that for forever. And two, his wrestling game, he can be taken down. It's shown in multiple fights. His takedown defense is rapidly improving, but he definitely still can be taken down.
I saw it at 75% takedown or 72% takedown defense, which isn't bad. We saw him get taken down in the Piotr Jan fight. Rewatching that one, I was a little bit worried about his gas tank, but then I just looked at his previous fights. He's been the king of fight nights. So he's had in his last 4 fights, 3 of them have been 5 rounds, or 3 of them have been 5-round fights. All 3 of them entering the championship round. So I feel like it might have just been the 3-round pace in Piotr Jan that kind of shredded his gas tank. But I love me some Song Yadong. I'll be 100. And he's 27. We're looking at Henry Cejudo at 38. I got to ride with my boy, minus 270. I know there's no money to be made on that. If I'm picking odds, again, it was hard to kind of find something for me just because, I think it's going to go to decision. The round totals over 4.5 is minus money. So I found plus 120 Song by decision. How do you feel about that?
That's the pick, I think. Song Yadong by decision. For those who think Henry Cejudo is not washed, which I'm not one of them, I definitely don't think the guy has his pop anymore. If you want to go the Cejudo way, there's more money to be made there. I just think it's a donation, and Vegas has enough money. They're not looking for donations right now. That's what I got.
The way, and you said it, if Henry's going to win this, he's going to find a way to get Song and hold him down on the ground. Maybe he can do that in the later rounds. But in those first couple rounds when Song's fresh and hot, he's going to be swinging heavy. And again, Henry's got a chin. He's not, I don't necessarily think he falls, but he's going to wear a lot of that damage early. Maybe Song overdoes himself and can't fight through those final rounds. But I just see it again, 27-38. Song has fought some of the best in the world. Granted, he's lost, but he's fought Corey Sandhagen. He's fought Piotr Jan at, just 27. So I think that kind of high level competition is going to pay dividends here. And what is there to gain for Henry Cejudo out there? He beats Song. Is he making another run to the title? Do we want to see him fight Merab again? I think maybe a fight with Umar could be fun if he gets a dub off of this, but I don't really need to see. All due respect, I don't need to see him anymore.
No. I think this is a loser leaves town fight. I think either you lose this fight. I think Song Yadong would be awesome at 145. Kind of seems like we're going to be losing a lot of very, very talented guys at 145. I would love to see him there. I know he cuts an ass load of weight, so I think that'd be a great move for him. And if Cejudo loses, it's just time to hang him up, buddy. Like, you're not doing your reputation or your legacy, whatever word you want to use. You're not doing it any favors by losing these fights. And honestly, fighting such boring fights. Like, I love wrestling. I love breaking down the grappling stuff, but it's like, Henry, brother, what are we talking about here? Like, go hang him up.
Hang him up. I'm with you. Song at 145, though, I wasn't expecting you to say that. Has that been rumored, or are you just saying because he cut so much weight?
I haven't heard a lot about it. I just think it makes the most sense. 135 is, I don't really see, you could argue maybe 55, but we're getting ready to lose a lot of guys there too with age. 45 is kind of emptying out. Max Holloway, the number one gatekeeper of all time. Volk's not got a lot left. I think 145 would be awesome for Song Yadong. The style matchups are better.
I was like, fuck, that is exciting because 145 does need some fresh blood. They got Diego Lopez.
Imagine a Diego Lopez Song Yadong fight. What are we talking about? Take my
Yeah,
money.
yes.
That would be incredible.
Now I kind of want Song to lose. 'Cause, I mean, who knows if he'd move up if he loses, but it's a fun little game to play there.
Oh, it definitely is.
So we like Song Yadong decision. I got it at plus 120 on DraftKings
Mm-hmm.
as of today. I think that's fair money. I don't know. You have anything else on that fight?
No, I think that is the only way to go, unless you want to donate your money, which I don't.
Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. I love this fight. I think it's a dog fight. Both these guys are wrestling / grappling heavy. I mean, 14 subs by Brendan Allen. He's won 7 of his last 8. His only loss being to Nasruddin Imavov, who we just saw take out Israel Adesanya. So
In a close fight.
yeah. So you can't really hang your hat too much on that. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is on a 6-fight winning streak. He's finished 8 of his 13 wins by submission. Both these guys prefer the ground game, which kind of makes it interesting because you think that some of that neutralizes itself out. Even though I'm not sure it does, I feel like they may still go back to the well. If it just turns into a straight boxing match, how do you feel this fares?
Yeah, boxing match, I think fares Hernandez. His hands are massive. I think he's got more power. Side note, Hernandez has a win over Allen in the LFA 32 title fight before they came to the UFC. It was a 5-round decision, incredibly close fight.
I did not catch that. I can't believe I didn't catch that. So we're looking at a rematch here.
Yeah, technically. I think it was in 2018. So yeah, it was for the LFA title.
Interesting stuff. That changes everything. I mean, it doesn't really change anything, but
yeah, no, but it does change everything, but it changes nothing.
Yeah. The only thing that I like is I think it's more of a coin flip fight than the odds have it. I mean, we've got Fluffy Hernandez at minus 310, Brendan Allen.
Crazy number. 310 is an insane number.
Yeah. I almost favor Brendan Allen in that case just because I think the odds are so skewed in Fluffy's favor. But I really do think it's going to be a dogfight. I could see it going anyway. But I don't hate hitting 250 on Brendan Allen and just throwing some change on it.
No, and if you like Brendan Allen, I kind of think that's going to be a decision. Brendan Allen decision is plus 450. I love that number. Submission is plus 800.
Is it 3 rounds? It's got to be, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, in a 3-round fight, I wouldn't doubt this goes to submission or to a decision either because
no, I don't.
It's going to sub each other out. Maybe there's a knockout, but both of them are dogs. Again, they've gotten hurt, but are very good at working through that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say the decision was at?
Brendan Allen decision is plus 450. If you like Fluffy, which is one of the funnier nicknames in UFC,
Yeah.
if you like Fluffy, decision is plus 110.
Not bad. Not bad.
No, plus money.
Needs to be made on that for sure. But dogfight, I love it. Both these guys are gamers, and they both have been, they're, again, Brendan Allen just lost to Nasruddin, but they're both on long winning streaks. They fought really good, decent guys in the division. They're both kind of working their way up towards something a little bit higher. Love that fight. I think.
Oh, 100%. I think the loss to Nasruddin and then Nasruddin knocking out Israel Adesanya and shocking the world, I think that does a lot for Brendan Allen's confidence in this fight. Izzy is inarguably one of the best, if not the best middleweight of all time. It's like, ifs and buts, candy and nuts, apples and oranges, depending who you want there. But I think that gives Brendan Allen some confidence. And I like Brendan Allen in this fight. I like the underdog.
I circled plus 250 Brendan Allen. I was hiding it behind my chest. I was, playing it a little shy like that, just saying you could probably get some plus money just because I have a little PTSD from last week. But I circled Brendan Allen plus 250, so I'm glad we're on the same page there. Mm-hmm. I was playing coy, and I apologize.
Oh, no need to apologize here, dog. Hey, if you got something you don't want to say, I'll say whatever the hell. So you just let me know.
So you think we're going 1-1? I didn't know they had the first match. That's what a freaking nugget of knowledge you brought here today.
I spend too much time doing this shit, man.
1-1 if Brendan Allen can get it done, but A very good fight. I love it.
Hmm.
Rob Font, the one who lost his opponent, I'm not ultra upset because I wasn't super interested in seeing Dominic Cruz fight again either. But I was he picks up Jean Masumoto, who 16-0. He's 25 years old. He's had 2 fights in the UFC, one in the Contender Series, 2 going to decision, one of them being a submission. He's kind of got the Song Yadong build. How much did you know about Jean Masumoto before kind of researching for this fight?
Not a ton. I don't watch a ton of the Contender Series just because some of it's not great, but some of it's awesome.
Yeah.
But after researching him, I like this fight way more than I like the Dominic Cruz fight. You nailed it there.
He's his last fight. I just got done rewatching it was against Brad Katona, who is
No slouch.
no
Conor
no
McGregor's boy.
probably the best fighter out of SBG since Conor McGregor. Has been kind of up and down in the UFC, but has won the Ultimate Fighter twice. He's a little bit of a dog, and they had a dog fight, and it was just a fun fight back and forth. He doesn't have a lot of KOs, which I was kind of surprised looking at this because, like I said, he's got that Song Yadong kind of heavy hitter sort of body, but 6 submissions. 6 of his 6 submissions. He does go to a lot of decisions too. 7 decisions, 6 subs, 3 KOs. Rob Font is kind of the king of y'all must have forgot, though. I love me some Rob Font. He's lost to the best, but it feels like when his back's against the wall, he somehow comes up with a dub. He knocks out Adrian Yanez. He gets the assignment against Kyler Phillips, which I'm sure he was a big underdog in. Wades through the waters there, loses the first round, comes back into the second round, and then dominates him in the third round. Do you like the newcomer, the young buck, or do you think Rob Font's still got a little tread on the tires because he's 37 as well?
Yeah, and Bob Font wears his 37. A great boxer, loves to stand and bang, and you nailed it, man. Y'all must have forgot who Bob Font is. Give me plus money on Rob Font every single time. He's plus 130. I love that. This kid's got spark, but I don't. Here's the thing. Yeah, he's green. This is a huge step up to go from Brad Katona all the way up to Bob Font. This kid's gonna have to wrestle his balls off if he wants to beat Rob, and ain't no holes in Rob's game. He's been in the game for what feels like infinity years. No holes in that game. Give me Bob plus 130.
And you look at the guys that he's losing to: Davidson Figueiredo, Corey Sandhagen, Chito Vera, Jose Aldo. We're talking about guys that are either still currently in the top 5 of the bantamweight division or are now out, but at the time they fought were probably pretty damn close to it.
All of those guys have fought for the title, right?
Corey fought for an interim. Davidson, different title. Cheetos fought for the title. Of course, Jose Aldo was the title holder for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they've all fought for some sort of title, which, I mean, if you're going to lose, those are the guys you got to lose to. If you want to stay in this game.
Spot for a title, he knocks him out or puts on a fucking show against Kyler Phillips. So
yeah,
I feel like the wheels at some point are going to fall off with Rob Font. I don't know if today's the day. It feels like a massive step up. Odds were, I don't know about you, but for me, odds were kind of hard to find for this fight.
Yeah, I got just the money line stuff, and I don't have any method of victory, anything available yet. It is Wednesday, so they might take a little bit of time. I don't know when this fight
actually got announced.
I didn't see anything about it until I looked at it today.
Because for the longest time, at least on the website, Dominic Cruz was still sitting in it, even though he had been retired or said he wasn't going to fight for like a week.
Weird time for Cruz to retire. Something must have happened in training camp.
His shoulder.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm slipping.
Shoulder out. I was really making a fucking play for Marcus McGee. I wanted that fight so bad, and I told you I posted it on my story, and he saw it. But I'm not going to blame it on Marcus. At least if he was healthy, I hope he reached out. I would have loved to take credit for that fight. But we got Jean Masumoto, who's got a fucking sick name. I'll say that. And losing in a position like this, short notice against Rob Font, number 9 in the division, when you're in your 3rd UFC fight, win or lose, you can't lose here.
No. This is like you said, that we've said it 100 times now. This is a huge step up. If he can pull it out, that'll be incredible for his career. I mean, it'll rocket ship him
I mean,
into the
you're
rankings and
jumping
things like
right
that.
into the top 10.
Yeah. So and that's insane in this already stacked weight class. You put yourself amongst the killers.
You might not want to win.
No, I don't.
A little too much too soon for the boy.
That top 10 is terrifying. I don't know. That's a lot for a 25-year-old kid. But I mean, you got to think he's never lost. So he probably thinks he's ready. And I'm not sure. Hey, if I put my foot in my mouth here, that's fine. Good for the kid.
Yeah,
I don't see
absolutely. Absolutely. The rest of the card, you got some fun ones on here. Gene Silva's fighting on this. We love, at least I do. I love the fighting nerds. He's minus 575. I'm kind of expecting violence there. I don't think there's going to be great out anywhere on that. Alonzo Minifield's fighting a debutante in Julius Walker, who I didn't really look up, but we'll see what happens there.
it. I got you on that one.
Yeah.
I did. This Julius Walker kid is a fucking killer.
Is he?
He knocks out everyone.
Six,
I think he has 6 finishes.
five,
This dude's an absolute murderer. And I love him plus 400 KO TKO against Alonzo Minifield.
Juicebox is a fucking sick name too.
Absolutely incredible, right? What are we talking about? That's great. I love him plus 400 for KO TKO. Minifield can be knocked out. So yeah, I love that.
Anything else you really like on this card? Any hits you want?
That I love? Not really. Feely is minus 105. That just feels like a lock. I don't see him losing that fight at all. Kind of a standard rule. Anybody that looks that goofy isn't gonna win fights in the UFC.
I've seen this guy before, Miquel Acosta. Craziest looking motherfucker you've ever seen.
Yeah, people like that don't win fights in the UFC.
Yeah, wow, boy. Yeah, UFC Seattle, not a bad showing for a fight night. I'm glad we're on the road because we've had the Cannoneer card fights were good on that card, but it felt kind of stale. Fight nights on the road always feel a little bit more special.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some good names on here. Again, Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong, interesting fight. Brendan Allen, Anthony Hernandez should be a dog fight. We got Rob Font potentially turning back the clock on the young buck. Maybe not. Who knows? And then you got the fighting nerds. You got some knockouts that are going to happen. Good fight card overall.
Mm-hmm. Fight cards that don't have a ton of huge names always produce the bangers. For whatever reason, you can just mark it in your calendar. If you're like, I know a few of these names, you're casual, turn that shit on. People are going to sleep.
Yep. Well, get ready because we got a couple weeks of that. Fights that have been announced. We're entering the quick hit section. You know what it is here. You just give immediate hot takes. You don't have to be right. You don't even have to give a breakdown. You just have to give the gut feeling. And there honestly hasn't been a ton since the last time we talked. Big fights that have been announced. We're still waiting for 314. We're assuming that's going to be Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilya Topuria, but that's not official. Could be anybody. Ones that have got announced, one card that is coming together is UFC Mexico City Fight Night. Moreno versus Urseg. Who you like that?
Brandon Moreno looked incredible in his last fight. He looked like he could not be stopped by anyone. I remember when Steve fought for the title, and I was talking to my little brother, and I was like, who the hell is Steve? And then by the end, I was like, I've always loved Steve. Steve's the boy. I absolutely love this fight. Give me Moreno, because he looks absolutely incredible. But don't shake a stick at don't shake at Steve Urseg. That dude's a dog.
Urseg's such a lovable character for no reason, just because he kind of looks like Michael Scott. But it's so fucking good. Of course, he had a fantastic fight with Pantoja.
Oh yeah, he almost won that fight.
Yeah, made a couple mistakes in there. Could have been champ right now. Then gets brutally KO'd by Taikar France.
Yeah.
Brandon Moreno, speaking of Max Holloway being a gatekeeper, if there's a gatekeeper, in another division, it's Brandon Moreno, a hard guy to get past. And if you do get past, welcome back to the title picture. Joe Pyfer, Kelvin Gastelum on that same card. I love me some Joe Pyfer. How you feel about that one?
I also love me some Joe Piper, but I also love me some Kelvin. I think that's just going to be an awesome fight, and those two are going to go to absolute war. Someone's going to sleep in that fight.
Joe Pyfer coming off of a loss to Jack Hermanson, hasn't fought since. I don't remember who Kelvin fought last, but I know he's had a probably missed weight if I had to take guess.
That's a fair assessment.
He's the king of that. But I think he also lost. Was that Sean Brady?
Did he lose to Sean Brady?
He lost to Sean Brady. I don't know if that was his last fight. Let me look it up real quick.
What's Sean Brady doing right now, by the way? Like, he had that huge fight with Bilal and then, like, a couple fights after that?
Sean Brady beat Gilbert Burns. He's probably Kamaru Usman right now.
Oh.
So he lost to Sean Brady, picked up a win against Daniel Rodriguez.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember that fight at all. But who's to say? Should be fun. I mean, Kelvin Gastelum's tough as fuck. Joe Pyfer's got massive hands.
His hands are so big.
Yeah. We saw him take on a vet in Jack Hermanson who found a way to get it done, work him out through 5 rounds, but we'll see if he can get it done this time. Those are really the only 2 that I had announced that were like, I want to bring up. I love I don't know if you saw it, Alexa Grasso, not Bruno Silva. Who the fuck is it? Something Silva. I love this.
Bueno Silva?
No, I literally just posted on my story.
Also Shevchenko.
Natalia Silva.
Oh, Natalia Silva.
Yeah. Should be a fun little fight on the feet. And, you know, of course, Alexa Grasso coming off of the title loss. I want to see this fight.
Yeah, 2. I would love to see that fight, and I'm also excited for the potential Zhang Weili Shevchenko.
That is next on my list.
Hell yes.
Shevchenko. Of course, not announced. We're talking dumb right now, but Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Who do you think fares better in that fight? Zhang Weili going up a division. Shevchenko, there's been some cracks in her armor. I know she got through Alexa Grasso and looked great, but of course, had 2 fights before that, one in which she got choked out, one in which was a very close decision.
Yeah, draw, right? Majority draw. Yeah, I thought she won that fight. I don't make fights. I'm not Sean Shelby. I kind of wish I was. That dude always looks so fashionable and sick. And yeah, best job in the world. That fight is so tough for Zhang Weili. Valentina Shevchenko is so much bigger than she is. Valentina cuts a lot of weight and to make that weight class, and that's tough. I made a rule when I just watched Zhang Weili fight, though, that I will never ever pick against Zhang Weili ever again. So give me Zhang Weili.
I like that, and I honestly think I ride with you here too. I don't think Shevchenko's done, but I think we're getting closer to the end. I think we've seen a couple cracks in her armor, and Zhang is so well-rounded everywhere. Her striking's disgusting. She's got great wrestling. Takedown defense was displayed in my face last week, so I think that's a fantastic fight. I hope it gets done. The only thing I saw on that is they said the UFC told Zhang Weili if she moves up, she has to stay.
Yeah, I wonder if that's real. Because that doesn't make any sense at all to me.
I don't know, could have been lost in translation, but
yeah, I mean, it's just like that doesn't make any sense to me. So then, like that, okay, so that division, Fly is that's Straw. Straw is fun because Zhang Weili is there and she can put on fun fights. I like other straw weights. I don't see it, and right now, Fly's good.
The problem is flyweight is stacked.
Yeah.
You have like multiple people, like Monofero could definitely, she's kind of earned a title shot. She's sitting there. That's a fight that could be made immediately. It's not like Zhang Weili has nobody to fight. It's not like Shevchenko has nobody to fight.
Right.
like John Wei Lee does. I mean, second in line, number one contender is Yan Xiaonan, who she beat in her last title defense. Two is Tatiana Suarez, just beat. Three is Virna Jandiroba. I don't necessarily need to see that fight. I don't know if
No.
Jandiroba can see it either. That was disrespectful. But
Hey, some things need to be said. Some things are hard to say, but they need to be said.
but
That just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, like flyweight's good. Flyweight's chilling. You kind of need Zhang Wei Li at strawweight to fucking do incredible shit and dominate and draw attention to women's flyweight like she just did. I don't really see anybody else that's going to be doing a ton of that. Like definitely some, like now Shana, like whatever, fuck it, that other chick that we just talked about. I see that with her, but like not a ton of else exciting is going on in strawweight in the women's division.
yeah, the other one, same fight card. Of course, we got to talk about Dricus Du Plessis versus one Hamzat Chimaev. How do you think that fares?
I love that fight. Dude, so I first off, I'm never gonna pick against Hamzat Chimaev. So let's start with that. Hamzat Chimaev is a murderer. He kills people. I don't see 100% like level in which DDP is a lot better than Hamzat. He's definitely a little bit better on the feet, but it's not crazy difference. And Hamzat wrestles people like his life depends on it, like he wrestles bears. I don't see a way in which he doesn't get smashed as Hamzat would say.
A
Hamzat would
lot of the
say.
criticism is not criticism, but a lot of the talk is like if it gets into the later rounds, if DDP can hold out through the first and the second, he fares better. We kind of saw it with Gilbert Burns. We definitely saw it with Kamara Usman. I might be in the train that you are with Zhang Wei Li, where I just can't bet against Dricus Du Plessis anymore. I've done it too many times. I feel like every fight that he's been in, he's been the underdog, whether it's Darren Till or Israel Adesanya, Robert Whitaker, even, I don't know if he wasn't the underdog against Sean Strickland, but feels like he's always the underdog, but he always wins. I feel like I just almost am forced now to just throw some money on DDP just because even though it's ugly, even though there's nothing you can really stare at and go, he does this exceptionally well. He's a great striker. He's going to outclass him on the feet. He's a competent wrestler. You know he's not going to out wrestle Hamzat Chimaev, but it's just like he wins. That's what he does. He fucking wins. And I think there is some truth in the fact that if it goes long, it fares maybe not better, but maybe the tides will start swinging in DDP's favor if Hamzat kind of blows his load early.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can't be blowing your load early. That's terrible. I just wonder how many times they're actually gonna have to make this fight. I mean, you can't just make a Hamzat fight once. It's gonna get canceled. So do you just start making it now to get the cancellations out of the way so it can actually happen? Like, how do you play that? Because Hamzat loves canceling fights.
He got his, I saw the other day, he got his UAE passport. I think that may help a touch. I don't know how much it helps. If it has to be in the UAE, then October lines up fairly well.
That's a really good point. Yeah, DDP will definitely be ready by then. I mean, he didn't take that much damage against Sean Strickland because Sean didn't throw any punches.
And he hits like a pillow.
Yeah, I don't know. October seems
I fucking picked him. What a dumb fuck.
so also that fight it's too close to International Fight Week. That could have been like an International Fight Week fight though.
That's if Hamzat can get to America. I've heard rumblings. I don't have any insider sources, but people have said International Fight Week would be a perfect fight for that. Of course, I think the fight we want on that is John Jones and Tom Aspinall, but that doesn't seem anywhere close to being done. That's either
both on there.
It's going to sneak up on us, and we're all going to go, "Holy fucking shit!"
Yeah. RIP Tom Aspinall, but yeah, that fight definitely. It seems like it's getting made, and it seems like Dana is willing to pay John Jones $1 billion, whatever the hell it is. I'm excited. to not only
You saying no shot for the boy?
no shot for the boy.
No shot for
No
the boy.
shot for the no shot for the boy.
Wow.
I mean, okay, so Tom Aspinall has said it the best. John Jones is better than him at every single part of fighting. Tom Aspinall said this. That's not just me. That's Tom Aspinall. And then he said, and then the guy was like, well, how do you expect to win? And he goes, I'm younger and more athletic. Yeah, you're younger. I don't know if you're more athletic. You're worse at every part of fighting. John Jones is the best fighter to ever do it. You're not going to wear him down. You're not going to take him down. You're not going to outstrike him. Had John Jones, he's been knocked down like what, once ever?
But we're talking about a full-blown 260-pound man. Do you think weight plays any sort of factor in that, where Tom's a full 260 and John weighed in, I think, 242 or something like that at his last fight? The only other two heavyweights he's fought is Cyril Gahn, who is around the same weight, and Stipe, who is around the same weight.
And is also old and a fireman.
Yeah.
I think it benefits John Jones. So when you cut weight, one of the first, when you dehydrate yourself like everybody does when they cut weight.
It's natural.
Well, Tom cuts some weight, doesn't he?
I don't think so, because he's not weighing in at the limit. I think he weighs in at like 260.
Regardless, fine. We won't talk about brain fluid and how that goes when you cut weight. Anybody, you don't get rich against betting against Tom Brady. You don't get rich betting against friggin' Zhang Weili. You don't get rich betting against John Jones.
You don't get rich against DDP.
No, you don't. Which that's a new one. You don't.
Cool. I appreciate you, Cody. We're about to run out of time here. You know I got a timer on this thing because I'm not paying plus, but you're a fucking rock star. We love you. You killed the bets last time. We'll see you again soon on the program, and hopefully we can nail some this weekend. We got some good ones for UFC Seattle. Peace and love, brother.
Peace and love. Anytime, any place, anytime. You let me know. We're out.